a very important moment for us here in the Commonwealth. The Law Ministers' Conference meets every 3 years. And before we came here to the Bahamas, the program of issues that was put before the law ministers was very important. But the program became pivotal and in many ways was prescient. We are looking at the issues in relation to the Sustainable Development Goals, also looking at the issues in relation to climate change. And as we sit here in the Bahamas, we know that we have just gone through one of the most extraordinarily difficult and traumatic times. We've had landslides, mudslides in Sierra Leone, floods in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and India. But here in our beloved Commonwealth of Bahamas, we've seen just a taste of what climate change can do. But Irma and Maria, two of the most devastating hurricanes that we have ever seen in our world, destroyed both Dominica and Barbuda. And so the law ministers coming together to answer the question, what do we do in terms of legal framework? How do we make the Paris Agreement, which was made in 2015, which set the climate change agenda, a reality? How do we as law ministers make that leap to where we need to be from where we are now? So many of the issues that we came together to speak about were of pivotal importance. We talked about technology and the new disruptive opportunities to deliver services more cheaply, more easily. We talked about the issues in relation to trade and commercial law, in relation to women and girls and domestic violence, the issues that also pertained in relation to early and forced marriage. So many issues which are of such critical importance to all of us. But the most amazing thing that happened is that our Commonwealth, which is made up of 52 nations, 60% of whom are under the age of 30, but comprises about 2.4 billion citizens, were able to talk in friendship. We had ministers from the four corners of our Commonwealth. They came from Asia and Africa, from here in the Caribbean, from the Pacific, and from Europe and North America, all with one intent: to decide and to debate, how do we make the rule of law real? How do we make sure that the 2.5 billion citizens in our Commonwealth can touch and taste and see what the rule of law and good governance actually means? And how can we together, as a Commonwealth family, make the difference that we need to make if the Sustainable Development Goals are to be a reality? And so as we come to the end of this conference, I think all the ministers and the heads of delegation can feel a huge sense of satisfaction that we did concrete work. We created toolkits. We launched the Office of Civil and Criminal Justice Reform, which takes all the laws in our 52 countries and makes them more accessible, so that each of our members can look at what others have done and use those templates and those toolkits to make a difference. We talked about how we could develop better an app to help cross-border interdiction of crime. And we looked at how to create reforming platforms from our legislation. How do we review it? How do we share it? How do we create these new models which will help all of us deliver on justice for all and make sure that no one is left behind? If we wanted to see what the existential threat of climate change looked like, we saw it here in the Caribbean. If we wanted to see what lawyers can do when they're bind together, we saw it here in the Bahamas. And it is a matter of great pride to me that I have been able to participate in this Common Law Ministers' Conference as Secretary General. I had the great honour in 2007 to be appointed as the Attorney General for England, Wales and Northern Ireland. And in that capacity in 2008, I attended the Commonwealth Law Ministers Conference. And therefore it is with a particular interest that I come now in 2017 as Secretary General, once again to bind with fellow lawyers, fellow ministers from across our Commonwealth to help to answer some of the incredibly complex questions that face the jurists of 2017. We have new challenges, new disruptive technologies to take advantage of and to use. But also we have to find solutions for those who take the same disruptive technologies, these new opportunities against us. So I am delighted that at the end of this conference we have made some concrete steps. And I wish to thank each and every one of my colleagues from across the Commonwealth who have come. And I also want to thank the Secretariat, who in the preparation of their papers and the diligence and hard work have demonstrated the best of our Commonwealth. I'm so grateful to the people and the government of the Bahamas who have welcomed the Law Ministers Conference with such generosity of spirit and such warm Bahamian welcome. And so as we close this conference, I would like to say my many, many thanks to all of those who've made this conference possible, and God bless the Bahamas and God bless our Commonwealth.